All right, welcome to our channel again today. Today we're continuing with the tabs in Excel. So today we're going to look at insert option. Like the name implies, it's insert. You are inserting something, you insert a picture, you insert a table, you insert a chart, and anything you want to insert on the worksheets, right? So you have the groups, you have the tables, you have the charts, you have the spark lines, filters, links. We're going to just concentrate on the table. So for the tables, you have the pivot table, you have the recommended pivot table, you have the table. So we're going to deal with table for this class. So you click on table, it will ask you where do you want Excel to insert the table. So I'll select this particular table that I want Excel to insert a table. It will now ask, my table has a header. It's asking if your table has a header. If yes, you check it. If no, you uncheck it. You now say okay. Excel will automatically convert it to table and then put a header for you. You can also insert a table in a plain document. So without typing anything, I'll go to insert, go to table. Because I've highlighted it, I'll say okay. It will just put it like that. So let's go back to it and then leave it as it is. So now you also have illustrations. So we leave that. So we are coming to charts. So you have recommended charts. Before you have a chart, you have a table. So this is our table of car sales by a car salesperson, Emeka. So January he sold 25 Toyota, then BMW 23, Mercedes 78 and thereabouts. So I want to put this in the chart. So you can use your recommended chart. When you click, it will suggest different charts options for you, then cluster, column charts and all that. You can now select any particular one that fits to what you want to do. So that's option one. Then I'll cancel it and then decide to, you can now select the particular chart you have. You have the bar chart, you have the pie chart, you have the area glass chart or line chart, and they have the hierarchy chart and different types of charts. So once you click on any one, it will give you an overview of how it will look like. You can now select, okay, let me for this one select a 3D column bar chart, right? It will now come like this. You can also have option of putting your headers, axes, change the colors, and anything you want to do on the chart. Remember, this chart is not inside the cell, so it's on top of the cell, so you can move it around without altering the document. All right, so let's look at other ones. So the only one I also want us to look at here is text box. Text box. So once you click on the text box, you can type Tochukwu. Let's type Tochukwu Excel inside Tochukwu Excel inside. So this is a text box. It is not inside a cell. So I can also move it around on top of the cell. You can also change the shape, the size by clicking on the knobs and dragging. If I want to drag, you click on the knob and drag. I can also change the content and the background of this up and down, right? So now let's go to draw. So for draw is like giving you an opportunity to write on top of an Excel sheet like a plain paper, right? So you have different pencil drawing tools, so you can use the pencil to write. So you want to sign your signature, you can use it to sign, and you have different colors and different sizes of pencil and all that. You can also change the colors of the ink that you are using to write. You also have your cleaner. Okay, so cleaners removed all the written document, all the written lines you have put into your Excel. Once you are done with it, always like remember to drop the two you have selected. So let's look at the page layout. For page layout, you have the theme, you have the page setup, you have scale to fit, you have shift options, you have arrange, right? So based on this class, we're going to be dealing with mainly the page setup. This has to do with changing of the themes. Then for the page setup, you have your margin. This is your printable margin. So you click on it, you have normal margin, you have wide margin, and you have narrow margin. So once you select, it will narrow the margin you have at the end. This is basically used when you want to print. So when you are dealing on print, we'll look at it. So now the next one is orientation. You have two orientation size. Portrait is standing up, landscape is lying down. So it's going to put your Excel work landscape. So once you select a particular margin, look, Excel will mark a line in dotted line to show you the size of your paper. So look at this dotted line. So it started from in between N and R and went down to N34. So let's go and change the orientation. It Let's change it to portrait. So you discover you have moved. Okay, let's go back to the landscape. Let me mark it and I'll write landscape here inside it. So that's the base for the landscape, right? Landscape, right? Okay, so let me now change the orientation to portrait. Discover you have moved, that dotted line have moved in and down. So it's now here. So that's what it is all about. So you have your paper sizes that you want to use. You have your letter, tabloid, Lego, A3, A4, and thereabout, depending on what you want to do. So you also have select printed areas, right? So, but we're not going to deal with it in this class. So the only thing we're going to move forward to, we're going to move forward to formulas. These are basic formulas. There are lots of thousands of formulas in Excel, but for the basic ones that you will need to use, Excel have brought them closer. So you have this auto sum. Remember, arrow down, drop down. You have average. You have, let me get back to, okay, this is our chart. So let's increase the zoom again, and then you get auto sum. I want to auto sum the total sales in January. I put it to auto sum it. So I want to find the average. I'll click on it to give me the average. I want to find counts. How many? You have 5. I want to count maximum, minimum. So anyone you select. Then recently used, Excel will keep it for you. Then for your financials, you can use this function. So let's go to data, right? So Excel deals with data. So it's very, very important that you understand this function. So this is get and translate, transform data. So these are different ways data can come into Excel. Excel can get data from text or CSV format, from website, tables, or range, recent sources. It will give all the recent sources. So when we get to data analysis, you will have your data set sheet, and then you have your analysis sheet. So data set sheet is where the Excel is getting information online real time from the source, website, customers input, staff input, and thereabout. So we're going to look at this particular column, which is sort and filter. Sort and filter. So you have your A to Z, that's from the smallest to the largest. You have your Z to A, which is largest to smallest. So you also have your filter. So once you select a particular column you want to filter, you want to filter based on a certain criteria, you click on this funnel, it will put the filter column on top, and then you can select. You can filter based on colors, you can filter based on text. All right, so let me change the background color of 26. Right, so now click on the filter again. You discover that filter by color have been highlighted because there's a different background color. So let me change the color text, the text color of the text. So let's go to that filter again. You see, you now have filter by cell color, filter by font color. So once they are highlighted, you can use it to filter, right? So let's go back to the data. These are the basic things. So you have under data tools, you have text to column, you now have flash fill, you have delete duplicate, remove duplicates, you have data validation. We will explain this in different classes. So let's go to review. Review is how Excel views your work. So you can proofread. This is proofreading, this is accessibility, this is language. You can protect your worksheet. You can have Excel sheet that you send to people that you add passwords to them. You use this to protect the worksheet. And then finally, we go to view. View is how you look at Excel, what you see. So you have the normal, you have the view break, so that you break only the printed version. So it will show you only the printed version, the printable version. The printable part is what you'll be able to see. You also check your page layout. So but if it goes like this, you want to take it back, you uncheck it, or you go to normal view and all that. So you can zoom your Excel. That's under zoom. You want to zoom in, you want to zoom out. So you also use this button on the bottom right to zoom the Excel that you are working on. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to our video. This is Tochukwu Excel. Thank you.